How to design this beautiful splash animation in Figma. So let's get started. Let's start with a blank canvas. Select the frame tool, and on the right side panel you will see a bunch of sizes for phone, for tablet, for desktop presentation, and a bunch of more sizes as well. We need a phone design, and inside the phone I like to go with iPhone 13 mini because that's the size developers prefer, because it's easy for them to scale up and down from the size of the design. So let's name it Splash. Once you have your frame, we need to add a background image to it. How I like to do is that I would draw a rectangle equal to the size of the frame, and then you can get your image from an online source. Just copy it online, or if you have it downloaded, go to that point, copy your image, Command C from your desktop, come inside the Figma, choose this rectangle, and then Command V, and it will get populated with that image. You can resize this image by this crop tool at the top. I like the way it is by default. It has a hint of a curtain and then a window as well. So on top of this image, we need to add a logo now. Let me bring the logo here as well. I will be using a Figma logo because I do not want any copyright issues here. So Figma logo is the best way to go. Let's resize this logo. Press K to scale it down. I will add, let's say, 78. Let's align it center vertically and horizontally. Now we want this logo to drop down from the top. So I'll just press Shift key and keep pressing the up key now until this logo is out of our frame. But if you see the left side panel, this logo is still inside our frame, but it's outside of the visible area. We are only seeing the width and height that we have assigned, and the content is clipped inside it. If you untick the clip content, you would see that this logo is also available here. But let's turn on the clip so that we have the content that we need. Now let's create a duplicate of this screen. Hold the Option key to create a duplicate of the screen. Now we want this logo to drop down to the center. I will choose this frame. Inside this frame, I will choose the logo and then bring it down. You can do it manually, or you can use the Align tool from the left side panel. I'll click center. Now there is one more detail to it. You see that now that we have a content on top of the image, this content is not very visible. It has white color is blending with the background. So we'll make the image a bit darker so that the logo on top of it is more visible. So I will reduce the exposure of this image, but here we will not only reduce the exposure because that will make our image look dull. I will increase the saturation as well a little bit, and then a little bit of contrast to make it light. You see, now that logo is very much visible on top of the image. You can also add shadow, but I prefer it like this. Now let's connect these two screens first before we move on to the third screen where we have the content and the button on top of it. So I will choose this frame, go to prototype, connect these two screens. We call it a link. Now we want this logo to drop down after some delay, not on a click, not on hover. We want it to drop down after delay. So I will choose this after delay of, maybe we want it to come down immediately, so 300 millisecond is good time to assign it. And then I want this logo to take its time, and while it does the animation of dropping down. So 800 by default, that's a good time, but I think 100 will be 900 will be a better way to go. Then we need to make sure that it's set to smart animate, and you can choose ease out or ease in and out. Both work pretty much the same way. You can also rename this animation that we are creating splash screen. This is a prototype, so we can name this flow. Now let's play it and see what turns out. Okay, I think that was pretty fast. So maybe we can increase the animation time a little to maybe 1,000 milliseconds. Let's play it again. Yeah, that's pretty cool now. Well, let's move on to the third screen. That is the getting started screen. For the third screen, let me show you the screen again that we are about to design. We have a logo on the top left corner, then we have a small heading for the welcome, and then we have a main introductory text that tells us about the app, that what it does, and then we have a getting started button at the bottom. Okay, so let's drag this logo to the left corner. We need to make sure that we have a consistent spacing. So I'm setting it to 25 from the left, and I will make sure that the rest of the contents I place in this screen are also 25 pixels from the left and also from the right side. Now, this is a pretty big logo. We all, in the design, we have a smaller logo now that also animates. So I will reduce its size, set it to top left, and then let's make it 58. Yes, this looks good. Now let's add some text. So we have a text tool, and then, yeah, sorry, it's getting stuck. Welcome to Photo Measure, or whatever the name of your brand is. That's a made up name. So change the font color to white. Also, I like to go with SF Pro Display because that is the recommended font from Apple for the iOS designs. So I like to go with this. Also, this is a pretty visible and very cool font. So let's make it regular for the small heading, regular or medium. I think medium is good. Also, if you look at the existing design, there is a background overlay on top of it as well. So because now that we have a content on top of it, we want the content to be visible, and we no longer want the focus to be on the background image. So we will add an overlay on top of it so that it's stalled out. Let's make it 60. Now you see you have a full focus on the logo and then the content. Welcome to photo page. Then the next text is measure windows like a pro, precision at your fingertips. Let's add our text. Measure windows like a pro, precision at your fingertips. Now we need to make sure that we have a consistent margin from the left and right side. So we have 25 pixels from the left. We need to make sure it is 25 pixels to the right as well. So currently it's 31. So we will increase it 6 pixels. Got it. Also, let's increase the size here to 36. Also, we need to increase the weight to bold. This looks good. Let's go with the 8 by 8 rule, and then here's 30. We can make it 32. All right, now let's add the button. For the button, we will use the auto layout. You just need to type in what the button will be called. So get started, adjust its font sizes. I like my buttons to be semi-bold, and then we will press Shift A to add auto layout to it. And then we will add a fill of white color, add some rounded corners, and rename it to button. Also, let's do a fixed height of 48 pixels for this button, and when I bring it inside the design, I will make sure it's 25 pixels from the left and then increase it until it's 25 pixels from the right. This is looking good. And from the bottom, I'll go with the, I'll go with the 55 pixels. This is good. All right, I think it's in a good shape now. We can go to the prototyping again, select this screen, prototype, and then add a link between these two screens. Here again, we want it to animate after a delay. So a delay of maybe 300 milliseconds, and then let's give it time to go back. I think 800 is good for this one. Let's play it again. Okay, I think that's looking good, right? So that's it. If you like this animation, please do subscribe and leave a comment if you are facing any kind of difficulties. I will be happy to assist you in later stages as well. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.